the red wave curtain. So we were thinking about this. It would be great if you enter a room and there's a curtain and like you have a magic movement and opening for you. So the concept is you enter the exact hall and they have a really high ceiling, like 5 meters, and you want to use the heightness to fill the room, but also keep it transparent. So you have transparent strings. And when a person is entering, you see it here, the strings are like with a motion sensor opening with a movement up and down, and you get a wave, like a wave movement, and you also get a light at this point. So also from a long distance you can see, okay, there's some red light, so someone is entering. And this, you can see just one person is entering, so you get just a little bit of the light effect. And when a group is entering, then it's like full light to the top of the ceiling. So also from a big distance you can see, okay, there's light now, so through the ceiling there should be like 10 people enter, not just one person. And you also get this wave movement, you can see it a little bit. Here these have 3 lines, but it could also feel like thermometers, so the people can enter from the front or from the side or wherever they want. And now our prototype, we take the light effect, like the movement is good. So here you see the strings and this is out.
Well,
Does it
that's
work?
5 meters, right? No.
Yeah. 5 meters ceiling.
Yeah, this is 5 meters.
Yeah, that will work.
And see the center? Where is the motion sensor?
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Oh, that's a pity.
So can you do it with your hand? Maybe one?
Yeah.
I can do like this.
So you can just push the string.
Because there was
Okay.
Okay. So she's arriving and then
Okay.
oh, okay.
And it
Great.
closes behind her.
Yeah, it's close behind you.
Oh, it's actually so good.
Okay, also not this one working?
No, it's the same connection.
But I think you can imagine.
Now, so what's the ball? What's the...
It was for the light.
Light effect. They have a motion sensor for the movement and also for the light. So you enter and it's moving up and down and also it's lighting. So
Okay.
these both things.
It's like breathing type of setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going on and then when you leave it, then it's white again. So when you enter Monday morning the building, then everything is like clean and white. But when it's busy, then you see there's a lot of red light. Yes, that's the concept. Any questions?
So you've created a portal. So,
Yes, I kind of.
so I like your ambition a lot. So you involved the motor and you wanted to bring this up and down. I like the fact that you have actually led there in the bike light. Yeah. So this gives gives you an impression of the atmosphere that you want to create with your portal. I might say. I'm not sure how it expresses corporate identity. How it links to your design brief.
Yeah, so it's a kind of, there's interaction because people are stepping inside and you get a feedback how many people are in the building, so a kind of documentation.
If you have a team, for example, 4 people entering the hall, the light is more and more. And then we thought that it can give a little bit of the idea of collaboration.
Okay.
So if you are more people, you get a big feedback from the installation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also to show when the building is busy and when it's not so busy, when it's more calm. But in the next step, you could document this somehow and see when it's more trouble than that.
And what spaces do you separate with this person?
Here is the black box from the entrance hall, and then you step in the high hall. So it's like everybody has to go through the curtains, but it could also be a future area. And then this is the first step, whatever you can create games, because also with these strings or the
So
first
everybody
step
that enters the building has to go through
through the curtain, yeah. So that's why we didn't brought it close to the ground, just like that. So it's really fast opening, that you don't have to wait, you walk and then it's opening in front of you.
Good enough, but I think it could need more experience. Also to interact with this, some people walk fast, some people walk slow.
Yes,
Is
yes.
it fast enough? Is it an obstacle? And you use it as a display as well, a display of activity in the building. And how does this work? I mean, not active. Is it, how does it look when it's not active? When it's very active. These things need to become more clear.
Yeah. When it's not active, it's just white, nothing happening. Transparent strings,
Okay.
I still don't get it. Why you want to show the environment is busy or not busy? What is the reason?
It's more an effect of people entering, and then you see, here's someone entering, also from a distance, and you're the visitor. I think it's a nice effect to come in, and then it's like magical opening in front of you, and you get a kind of attention. That is the point where the person is entering, highlighted, and this wave effect. I think from these 3 strings you cannot see so much, but when, let's say it's a square, you get a wave in the square, and this effect was we wanted to achieve.
Talk about that later. I think the reason you want to do is you want a wave,
Yes.
but it's not because you want to show the busy or not busy thing.
Yeah, the wave is the one thing, the movement, and the other thing is when many people coming in with a higher.
Yeah, I mean the wave is the outcome, but it should not be the reason for the concept.
In fact, we just want to take attention to the people who is entering the building, because the 4 main aspects of exact people and collaboration. We have the results and structure, yes.
Can I maybe ask something? You grasped some nice elements of the briefing, because you said everyone needs to go through it, and that's almost literally what Clement said. I see some of the elements which I like, but what I do not understand how is it sustainable? I entered, the curtain was red, and when I'm through it, it's gone again, I guess. So how do I see that the building is busy, and what happens to me afterwards? Because everyone will see I come in, so from all floors you can see, 4 people entered, but what do we do? Do we cheer? Do we bring coffee? Do we engage? Or maybe you should add something afterwards. What, let's say when 5 people come in, then maybe the result is you need to bring 5 coffee, which I do not think is really great, but it is something that the attention you get is you let's say something comes out of it. Maybe you should think of that.
Definitely just the first step. So this one big project, and then in case we say, okay, it's a nice idea, then we can go on with it and add something afterwards, and give feedback or making some kind of game out of it. But this, the nice high feeling, I think this is something we want to use. So we said, okay, let's start with this and have all the practice of waving, and then go on with this idea. Use the highness of the hall.
And if you look at examples of other sort of waving kind of installations on this massive scale, did you look into the technical how they did this? Because I mean, this is really simple with one motor, but if you want to make a wave, then all the elements should have motors. And it's
You notice that.
From the extension.
Just have one more thing.
yeah. So So maybe maybe there are cheaper. The motors always make a lot of noise. So if you have this wave maybe behaving nicely, but then you or you have to make like a big silencer, which also will take a lot of space. So maybe there are other ways to involve the ceiling and display of activity and maybe a portal kind of function with things technology.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep, that's it. Okay. Thank you.